Do, 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 do. All right. I'll tell you, I've been watching my ATAs trade like crazy, but and the nice thing is during the weekend like this, they're not as active, right? Because I mean, look at the market's flat. But the great thing about the ATA is, as a live trader, when you're sitting here trading on the weekends, because let's face it, that's the day you don't work, you got time, and you're sitting here staring at these trades, and you're just like, I mean, how do you make that determination to do a scalp, right? When you got this and the volume is just such crap, right? So the beauty of the actual live trader is, or the ATA trader, is you can see, I mean, it's still executing trades, right? So you see 130, 128, 125. I mean, it's still getting those scalps because it's super, super patient, which is just so cool about, having that technology. So I appreciate you guys joining on Sunday. My primary reason of doing this on Sundays is I don't typically like to do trades on Sundays per se. I may do some trades later when the volume picks up around Asia Market Open around 8 p.m. Eastern. But as you guys know, I like to overextend a little bit on my ATAs through the weekend. So before that Asia market opens, I just want to review some of my open trades, right? And just see how they perform, where they're at, make a decision. And then, the point of this is y'all can follow along. Either you can make the same decision I'm making and understand why I'm making it, or, you may learn something, right? If you see me clicking on something and find an easier way to do it. So like always, we're going to click on the alert here. And we have all of the open trades here. So you can see I'm still running these trades, right? So we have the AVE long, AVE short, ETH long, ETH short, LTC long, LTC short, XRP long, XRP short. I did have a Doge long existing, and I believe I had a Solana in here, but I think I already deleted the alert because that one hit. But let me show you. I didn't delete the layout, so I'll show you what that one did. So since you already know the Solana hit, let's click on that tab here. This is what it did. If you guys remember, for those who followed me when I set this up on, what was it, the 2nd? This is what I'm talking about, patience, right? So we actually set it up, I think, around here. It already performed DCA1, DCA2 within the fall, and we were just waiting. It almost got out right here, right? Super, super close. Fell backwards. We didn't have any more DCAs that we allowed, but this time on this pump, it actually got out, right? So we made some profit on this one, which is cool. And remember, we can always confirm this when you click on your account like this. We can go into trading ATA. I always like to have this up. We'll give it a second to load. Just because before I go and make any edits, we just want to confirm it, right? So we'll find Solana. Let's see, where is it at? Here we go, Solana. No trades open. So we're good, right? So it got out in profit. And the nice thing is you can click on history. Let's say you want to check and see, okay, Solana got out. Did it actually trade, right? Like, let's try to find Solana, right? And look at all these trades that it's trades since it closed Solana. But it's right here. Closed the Solana, made about $1.23. The beauty of the Solana trade, I'll just click that again, is I did set it up as an existing because I remember I wanted to reassess Solana. I didn't want to just let it roll. And I played that right because, we took our profit and then we kind of been drifting down ever since, right? So now I did stop my shorts, if you guys recall. So I'm done with this one. Typically, if you haven't already, I would have came in here and deleted that alert, which I already did. So I don't need to do that. So I currently have no active longs going in Solana. Now the short, I did stop my short somewhere in here. Kind of wish I left it going, but I absolutely crushed it, right? Look at all this. But I was not running it during this, so I didn't capture any of those trades there. So now's the time I can make that determination. Do I want to turn the longs back on? Do I want to turn on the shorts? For me, I don't like to overextend my ATA going into Monday market open. I like to see the market come in. I like to, because we always get our crazy push up or a crazy push down, and then it kind of settles, right? When you find that range, that settle, that middle of that range, that's where you want to turn this on, right? So if I go into the 1 hour and we mute this, let's just shrink this down. You can see Solana's in an interesting position. This is why I didn't really like it too much to continue, because technically we are low in the range, which means we should pump, right? But we've also had a 1, 2, 3 push up to get to this range. Those who know, typically you have to gap fill at some point, right? It doesn't mean it has to be yet, but at some point we're going to probably pull back into this range here. It's not a bad play if I wanted to do a long and a short, because I would do that knowing that I have a lot of fall that I could take. My long could get stuck again. And I also, could get stuck again in that short. I could make that play. If this was like Tuesday, I may make that decision. Sunday, I'm not. I don't know what's going to happen on market open on Monday. So I'm going to kind of hold off on Solana. I'm not going to run anything with this yet. So I'll just go ahead and save this. We'll put it back on the 1 minute. I don't like the range. I think that the range that it could fall compared to the range that it could pump also is not good for the ATA. Now, could it still profit? Sure. I mean, it'll find its way out. I'm not worried about that. But the point is we don't want to overextend our accounts until we have the best possible opportunity to do so, right? So, and Solana is just a little too volatile for me. So let's go ahead and check. I just use this in my to-do list. So let's check on our Doge. Let's see how the Doge is doing. So to check on it, again, you're going to load your layout. Remember, these are your layouts in here. We're just going to find Doge. Man, I feel like I need a cough drop or something. I apologize. So this is our Doge here. We're on the 1 minute. So we know that we stopped the shorts. If you remember, we took out the shorts. This was, I think, Thursday. So we only have a long existing going, so we don't even need to assess the short. We could look at the short just to see how it would have done. It did really well, actually. Should have left that one going, right? Hindsight's a beautiful thing, but that's okay. So we'll open up the longs here. So Doge is still hanging out near this support lane. We have the existing trade. I don't have any other DCAs in there. I don't mind adding another DCA, but if I do, it's going to be down in this range here, somewhere in the 0.070 range. So I'm going to do a multitude of things here, and I want you guys to follow along. And it is recorded for those of you there in the community, because this is where I think some of you guys struggle, right? What to do if you want to do multiple things. Like, let's say we want to add a DCA on this, but then also, you guys know in the community, we just put out an update. So if I'm going to redo this, why do I want to redo it just to redo the update later, right? Plus, if I take this indicator off, it's going to give me the new one. And I want to show you guys that. So all I have to do is, I know I want to update this one, and I'm not doing a short anyways. So I'm just going to take that one off. We don't even need that one anymore. Now, this is how you update your chart on an existing trade. Super, super simple. All you need to know is the date and time that you did this enable existing trade. So March 2nd, 1542, right? We just need to remember that. March 2nd, 1542. So we'll write that down somewhere here. Let me open up a little notepad. And you can take a picture or whatever. So 3/2, 1542. Let me drink some water, sorry. Oh, all right. So as we come into here, we just want to make sure we add that exact same setting, and then you're going to know that it's going to do the same exact thing, right? So all we're going to do is we're going to just take this, right? We know this is, remember, you don't want this one, you want the yellow one. The yellow's key. So actually, which would be 1541. I was off on that one. I was doing the blue. So you want the yellow one because that's where it's going to mark it, right? So we want to do 1541. So I'm going to change my little note here. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to take off my indicator. Now you can see it's gone, right? And this is where a lot of you freak out and you think, oh my gosh, what did I do? It's gone. So we're going to hit save. All I'm going to do is reload this chart. It doesn't look like it does anything, but it refreshes it. This allows you to get the latest update. Then I'm going to come back, find my Ultron Trader again. I'm going to move this off so I can put my information here. And I'm just putting in the Botjock email and my passphrase for my account. All right, move it back up here. All right, so now we have the indicator added back on. We just go to the gear. We do have the correct version, which is the new one, and I'll go over those changes here shortly. So we know only thing we want to touch for right now, right, is let's get the same candle. So 2023, 3, 5, and then we said, or I apologize, actually, let's see, this is why we take our notes, right? 3, 2, 15, 41, enable existing trade, and then, right, I don't want it quite yet to do the third DCA because that's not what I had checked, right? So I'm going to hit OK. And you can see it's basically thinking. And you can see it's exactly the same as it was before, right? That's how quickly you can update your indicator, even in an existing trade. As long as this stays the same, as long as this shows you in that long, and that shows your DCA points, and this shows you, your TP lines are in the same spot, you're fine. It doesn't matter, right? Now, we wouldn't even need to technically create the alert again, right? Because nothing has changed setting-wise. Now, why would I want to create the alert? If I modify something like I want to now, so I want to add a third DCA, and I want to add it somewhere around this level here, right? So the changes that we had made is in these percentages. So you notice before it was 25, 50, 75, 100. Those percentages were based on a factor of like trading on 100x leverage, right? So it was multiplied by 100x, which is why I was pushing those decimals over. It was confusing people. We found it was a little easier for people to understand the actual percentage of movement now that we have spot. So when you're actually trading with this one, you're actually dealing with an actual percentage. So what does 0.25 mean? 0.25 means is when it takes that buy, if the price moves 0.25%, it will enable it to take profit. So it's just a raw percent, right? Make it easier for you to do math. So we're not going to change any of that. All we want to do is add a third DCA, right? That's it. So I'm going to click this. It's already preset to 6%. Let's see where that actually puts that white line. We can see the little eyeballs working. So let's give it a second to load. And we're going to see where the white line is. The white line, XRP took a short. Look at that. So, oh, that kicked my thing off when I clicked it. All right, so we're looking for DCA3. Let's see. See, this is important because it already fired it based on 6%. Now, in hindsight, that would have been a great DCA, right? It would have got me out, but that's not how my account actually is. So I have no choice but to push this further than 6%. So let's try 7%. We have to get rid of this because this hasn't actually happened yet, right? So let's go ahead and click that. Let's let it think a little bit. It's doing its calculations. A lot of code to go through, guys, so it does take a quick second. You just gotta be patient. Let's see where the 7% puts us. It should kick that off. Nope, I did not. All right, let's try 8%. And we're just gonna keep increasing this value until this gets off. Oh, actually, look at the white line's right here, so we may need to push this down pretty far. Let's do like, let's try 12. Let's get a little more aggressive. Because see, here's the white line. This is where it's allowing it to take that DCA. We got to push this white line lower than that. There you go. Now we pushed it lower. So now the question is, see this white line? This is where it has to pass before it'll allow another DCA. So if I'm trying to catch this support line, I want to have it just above here. So I'm okay with where it is. I might even actually bring it up just ever so slightly. So to bring it up, we'll put like 11.5, just reduce that just a little, click anywhere in the black. And you'll see this just move up just slightly. What's that calculator? There it is. So this gives a little space. The space is important because it has to allow it to come down, hit that bounce, and then come back up, right? So what I have just done is I've done two things. One, I've updated my indicator on an existing trade, put the same settings in. And two, I've allowed a little more room on this existing trade to let it DCA. By DCAing somewhere here, this is going to basically pull these entries down further. giving it a little bit of an easier chance to get out if there is a bounce near this support line. So for those that are new, dollar cost averaging is just a way to move your entry down to give it a better fighting chance to get out of its trade. So I'm okay with Doge. We have it saved. Let's just do a quick review, double check everything. So the entry all looks good. We're all looking good there. Take profits. So it believes my entry is like 0.078. 0.078. So indicator's good, right? Always check the entry, which is this white line right here, the very first one. Check that entry with your actual entry on this. This is a mirror from your exchange, right? So this is going to be where, you know, everything is really happening. This is just code, right? So we're just want to make sure that we're good. So our entry is good. The profit zone's good. We're set up to allow it to do one more DCA or get out. So either A, it's going to drop, it's going to DCA, move these entries down and catch the pump, or B, it's going to just go straight up like Solana did and get out, and I don't care. So, but now I don't have to worry about it anymore. So we're good with Doge. So we did a little bit of work with Doge. Now, because we did add this DCA here, we have to, now that we've finished, you know, as you guys know, I like the analogy of writing a letter, right? Now that we wrote the letter, again, we have to send it. So to send it, you have to throw the old one away. We have to go into our alert. I have to change this webhook here. All right, so because it's not the right one. So we'll go back to our Ultron. We copy our webhook. Always check the webhook, because if it's not right, it's not going to go to the right spot. And for those that are new, I mean, you can get that information just right from your dashboard here under View Webhook. So we're just going to recreate this one. That's the only one we did, the long. We're coming in here, ATA, Doge, long, existing. And now we're set up for our Monday move. My hopes is that we get a pump up and it gets out, or it gets a fake push down, hits the support and pumps up and gets out. That's kind of the play that I'm doing, right? Coming into Monday. So we're done with Doge. Doge was a little more work, so we'll see how these other ones go. So let's take a look at ETH. I don't have ETH loaded, so that's not the one I'm using, at least for this. Let's go to, here we go, ETH ATA. All right, so let's evaluate our longs. ETH, as you guys know, I tend to give a little more play, a little more room. I don't make too much modifications to ETH, but again, we want to update our indicators, right? So we want to do the same potential, you know, thing that we did with the other ones. Now, I want to show you guys, if let's say you don't want to do an existing trade setup, because an existing trade setup is going to stop it after it's done trading. So if I were to do this in the same exact way I just did Doge, it's going to do one trade and stop, but I don't want that, right? I just want to keep trading. So what you do here is you can take, you can do this a few different ways. There's for those who, you know, worry about messing up something, you know, take your notes, take a picture, right? So like right here, I'll just take a quick picture of my chart, right? And the reason why a picture is nice is, you know, it saves you from taking a little notes, and all you care is in this picture is that your entries are the same. So entry is 1651. You have DCA average 1618 and 1586. So how do we get this to do the same thing with an update? All we do is we open up our settings, we come down here, and the only things that matter when you're updating this is going to be keeping this stuff the same, right? Your moving average. All of this we use default, so we can leave it default. And then we need to make sure we have the correct date. So I'm going to open my notepad again. You can do a picture of this if you want to. But so we're going to open my notepad again, and we're going to do 224, and the time is 22:42. Okay? And it's a closed trade on chart. That's going to allow it to continue to trade. So let's just do the long here first. So I'm going to go ahead and delete my long, right? I'm going to hit save. I'm going to hit the arrow. I'm going to reload my ETH, Then I'm going to go back to invite only scripts. I'm going to load up my Ultron. And I'm going to move this down here so I can type my stuff. All right, so we got that added. Okay, so close that. Now, if you look, my long is below my short, right? Which is fine, as long as you know where it is. We are on the 1.16, and you can see my short is still 1.15 because we haven't done that yet. So we're just going to play with the long first. So I just loaded my long up. I'm going to take this to moving average, long, right? This one's supposed to be ETH. Make sure you change that, right, when you do the update. Actually, you know what's funny is that just made me think about, I might have missed that on Doge. See, I always love to double check on this stuff too. I wonder if you guys caught that. Leave me hanging here. Yeah, see, we did. Look at this. Simple fix, right? Even if you make mistakes on these, all I have to do is delete this Doge, come back in here. See, I got ahead of myself. Even I do that at times, right? Doge, that's why we always double check that stuff. But you see how easy we can fix it, right? It's not that hard. You go through the same motions every time. ATA, Doge, long existing. See, we caught a mistake myself there. So we'll go ahead and make sure that creates. Yep, it created. We'll close that back out. Okay, back to our ETH. So back to modifying this long in here. We got the ETH, we got moving average, we got the touch, everything's still the same. You can see the new percentage setups, right? So we know that's accurate. We left all that default. Now I just need to put in the date again. 2/23, right? 2023, if I can get the right one. And let's see, oh no, it was 2/24. What am I doing? I'm all over the place, guys. I apologize. 2/24. There we go. And then the time we had was 22:42 that I wrote down here. 42. And then we just click close trade on chart, right? Because that's what we had. So let's see if this lines up to be our picture, right? So make sure this eyeball stops spinning, because once that stops spinning, that's the true numbers of everything. And then we're just going to match it up to the chart. There we go. We stopped spinning. So we still have 1651, yeah, 1618, 1586. So my entry for this long should be 1586 or really close. Let's take a look. 1585.97. Close enough, right? So we know the chart's good. So we're updated. So all I have to do now, once I'm prepared, I don't want to delete it until I prepare it. I come into my ATA ETH long, hit the X here, so that's gone. Then I'm going to come over here, and I do these one at a time when I'm updating them. It's just easier. ATA ETH long, and I hit create. And so now my ETH is updated. It's still doing the same thing. My entry, which is this average, the average that you see after a DCA, should match what your actual entry is on your actual dashboard. So we know our long's updated. We're good. We have our indicator back. Now let's just do the short real quick. So the short, and I'm not too worried about the long. I already have, I didn't talk too much about that, but we are on DCA 2. It does have the ability, I believe, to do DCA 3. Yes, it does. I might push this down a little bit farther, guys, just kind of like we did the other one. Let's put like 10. I didn't talk too much about the strategy. The reason why is, again, see how at the 6 how it threw that DCA 3, and then see how this actually screwed it up. Look at that, how it screwed that up. So that would have actually messed that up too. So that put it down here, this white line. So we need to move that up just a little bit. Let's put it at like 8. Let's see where this light. We want to get the white line a little bit above the support. Not that far above, but let's go down to, let's do like 8.5. That should be good. And remember, we are modifying stuff, so we do have to create that alert again, which is not a problem. let's see where it puts this line. And once you're good with the where it put the line, then we can, still thinking. There it goes. Yeah, just above my green line. So I'm good. So again, super simple. ETH long, come out, delete it, come in, alert, ETH long, ATA ETH long, and now it's created again. So now, again, just like Doge, I have a plan. Either it's going to go to profit or it's going to fall all the way down to around 15.10 before it does the next DCA, which will pull that entry down. Don't be afraid to modify those DCAs to pull them down a little bit. Don't always just rely on the default. If you feel like you need a little more room because your TA, give yourself a little more room. So let's go ahead and let's just confirm. We did create the alert already, but you have your ETH, your moving average, profits are fine, DCA is 3, close trade on charts fine, and we know we got our DCA line. So my ETH is good. All right, now we're done with the long. Let's go back to the short. So the short says we're in a short at 1567. We come over, 1567, so we are in a short. So again, we want to do similar as we did the other one. So if you didn't keep up, same process. You're going to find it's the same exact stuff over and over and over again. So we're going to delete the short here, right? Then we're going to just save this. We don't really need to reload it. You can do that again, but that's basically a way to refresh your trading view. Is all that is. So we're going to go ahead and load this back on. Let me put my info. Oop. Oh, that stupid alert popped up on me. Give me 1 second. I gotta load the indicator again because it took a trade, so the alert popped up on me. Okay, passphrase. Okay, we're coming up again here. All right. So I went ahead and put that in there, right? You can see it added here. We already have our long right there. I have muted. So again, just so we don't make that same mistake, right? Let's change that to ETH. I do recommend changing that first because we are trading ETH, right? So again, right, we can go to our moving average. And then we can click on it here. All right, let's see where this takes us. So what I wanted to show you here, and then we need to flip this to short. We'll let that finish thinking. I want to show you, so I'm purposely kind of doing something that I want to show you guys, right? Because this is going to happen to you guys. So I like to sometimes do these things on purpose to kind of help you guys figure out how you can fix something if you make a mistake. And this call may go a little bit longer for those of you in the room. I put 30 minutes, but I forgot we were doing the updates and stuff, so I want to kind of give you guys the full length on that. So it's still thinking. You can see the little eyeball spinning. Okay, so now what I wanted to show you guys is, right, we have all our defaults, everything's set, we're good. Oh, we didn't write down the date. So how do we know where to close this, right? We don't know. So what we could do, one thing that you could do is you could try to put in what the long is, right? Maybe you did it around the same time. And if that doesn't work, I'm going to show you how to fix it. 22 minutes 42, close trade on chart. Let's see if that puts us in a short or if it still is not going to match what our actual entry was. Because so the ATA trader is typically going to mimic similar trades in backtesting. So if you don't write it down, there's two ways you could fix it. You could either just do an existing trade, right? If I can't mimic it, I'll just throw an existing trade in and then it's fixed. Now, if it does mimic, right, because you put in the same date and time, so it did get out, right, so it did recreate that buy, then that's okay. This doesn't have to be perfect. The only reason why you're even modifying this part of it is to recreate what your actual trade is. So 1567 is where it thinks it is. Let's go to where our actual entry is, 1567. So I don't have to know the exact date. All that matters, the only thing that solely matters is the ATA believes we're in a short, which actually it's in profit, so we better create this sucker quick because it might throw a close here. So that, that everything looks the same. So because we're in a buy, see, it's already past this green line, right? So it's basically in profit. So I want to create this one quickly so you can see if that throws a close, it will close it. ATA, ETH, shorts. Now, if it throws a close, I'll just close it on my thing manually. Let's say you're fixing this and then you see it throw a close and you're like, dang, I didn't have my alert created. Just come over here and you just click on it and close it. All right, it doesn't matter. All right, whichever one, let me see. If I refresh my page, you'll see this one in profit. Let's see. Give it a second here. Yeah, so you can see this one's in profit. So you can always close it directly from your dashboard if you miss it. Don't freak out. But since we did create that alert, we did it kind of quickly. Let's just double check we had it right. ETH is correct. That's correct. All our take profits are fine. We did have a third DCA in there. This one I don't have to push down further if I don't want, because we're not even in DCA 1, so I don't have to make that assessment yet. I typically give ETH the power to DCA a third time. If you don't want to, again, let's say we go through and we're like, okay, everything looks good, but oh man, I really don't want to let it do 3 times. I usually do 1 and 2 on the altcoins, and then I make a determination whether to do 3 later. It's just a little safer for me, so it doesn't do it too quickly. All you would have to do is just make your modification, just like always. Delete your ETH alert, go back to your alerts, create your ETH, all right? And I messed that up, but let's just keep, there we go. And we do ETH, ATA, ETH, short. Great. And it's going to close it here in a second, I think, so hopefully that creates in time. Yeah, and that, I mean, you can see how quickly, guys, it's the same. It seems like a lot, but I promise you, learning this technology is a whole lot easier than learning how to trade. You just got to put the time into understanding it, right? All that matters is what it thinks you're in and what you're actually in. If that matches, then you're good. XRP short. So, Man, that thing is popping up like crazy. Yeah, so we're good. So ETH, we don't have to worry about no more. Let's just go ahead and save it. We have the shorts, we have the longs. Let's move on. Looks like it's actually just fired a close on my ETH short. You can see it right here. Just throw a close. Let's see if it closed it. If you want to check to see if your alert actually worked, refresh your screen. And let's check our ETH and see if that closed. So you got ETH and there's no more short. So we closed, we're in profit. And if you want to check your history on it, you just click on history. Covered the ETH, we made about 22, 23 cents. Not much, right? Small, but smaller account, so that's expected. So we'll go back to trading ATA. All right, let's move on. So we got ETH done, we're good. Oh, we got 2 shorts in here, right? So if you look, it looks like it created this one at 1432.14 and that one at 1432.14. So I'm just gonna delete this second one here because normally when you recreate it, it lands on the top. So this, you always want to manage this, guys. Don't let this overwhelm you because whatever's here is gonna actually fire, and you don't want 2 of those. So we're good on ETH. Let's go to LTC. So we're on the LTC page right here. Let's go ahead and we're already in the shorts, I guess. So let's take a look at how the shorts have been doing. So LTC shorts have been doing pretty good. You can see it got stuck a little bit here, came out, had some really great trades, great DCA, got out in massive profit. And it's just been riding shorts. It's just barely in a short right here. So we'll go ahead and we'll recreate the LTC update. So again, I'm gonna do this a little bit quicker, just so that way we can kind of move on since you guys get the point. But if you still haven't caught it, just follow along, right? So again, moving average, that's important to make sure you know. Short, 2 DCAs, February 24th, 22.37. So I'm going to write down 22.37. And that's all I need to know for my short. So I'm just going to put short here so we can do them both at the same time. And then my long. So my long is on moving average, 3 DCAs, right? We have a modification here, so it's at 1,000%. So we're gonna say, I'll just make a note, third DCA, 1,000. Okay, because it's gonna go to default whenever we do the new one. 2023, 224, 22.37. So same time. So I don't need to change that one, and it's on a closed trade on chart. So that is our long. Now, if we evaluate our long, let's just take a look if we want to make any changes. So you can see our long is still stuck from the fall, right? LTC has not got out like Solana did. So we'll just kind of, let's see where we're at. So it looks like our DCA points down here at the yellow, so we're still good on that. It's not set up as an existing trade, so when it gets out, it'll continue to trade. So we're good with that, right? So we're just gonna recreate those same settings. So now I'm gonna freak all you guys out, right? So we're just gonna delete them out. This is when everybody panics, because now your chart is gone. What happened? We're going back to indicators. We're just gonna get the updated one. I'm gonna load them both and then I'll bring this back up. Okay, so I got one. And I got two. All right, so we obviously know it's not going to match. Let's mute the short. Let's deal with the long first. Long, LTC, right? We know we had moving average. We know we had a third DCA, but it was at 1,000%. So that's going to be equivalent to basically 10 to mimic that. Then we have to come in and do the day. So 2023 to 24 at 22.37. Close trade on chart. And we're gonna hit OK. And let's see if that puts us in the same long that we're stuck in. And it does. So we have our DCA line still correct. Our TP line is still correct. Our entry should be somewhere around here, 92.29. Let's flip over here, check our LTC, 92.209. So everything looks good. It all matches. It still matches with my entry. I did the update. We're all set on our longs. So I don't need to touch anything with that quite yet. It's not in a huge rush, but if you wanted to, you could do the alert right away, but just so you don't forget. But I'm going to change this one to short and just do this one. Then I'll just make the alerts at the same time. Once you get the hang of modifying these settings, you don't really need to do that. You can kind of do it a little quicker and skip some steps here. So I'm just doing the same exact process that I've done each time. 22.37, close trade on chart. We did not modify any of the percentages, moving, we had LTC, and we had short. So let's mute the long, and let's check the short. All right, so it's currently in a short, but remember, it just took profit and it closed it. So we know that that one's already closed. You're gonna notice it does not have a close on here, but that is because I have my settings on touch, meaning that the moment it touched this green line, it closed it. It's okay if it doesn't show the close, because whether it hits this green line or it comes down and hits this blue line, it's gonna throw a close regardless. So we can leave it as is. So we know we're good. So now all we have to do is just hit save. Both of our things are on 1.16. modified. So now we just need to create the alerts, right? So let's come into LTC. We're going to delete the long alert. We're going to delete the short alert. Close that again. And then I'm just going to simply create the long alert. ATA, LTC, long. And then I'm going to create the short alert. There you go. Remember, for those who, if you are struggling to kind of get this, you know, the layout is kind of like the analogy I use is like your piece of paper, right? The indicator, which is here, this is your content of your letter. So this is where all the magic happens. Basically, this needs to match what your actual dashboard shows, your entries. If it doesn't match, something's wrong. That's what you should be checking. If you notice, I'm always confirming that my entry, so like if I go to my long, right, so it shows my average 92.0 or 92.28. Now if it moves super fast, it might be off a little bit, right? Like this one's off by 0.08, right? It's not a big deal, but it's close enough. That's how you want to compare that to make sure you're correct. So let's just do a quick review of LTC. We know our long is correct. We have a good DCA. If it goes up, it's going to get out. If it comes down here, a little closer to the yellow line than I'd like, but I'm not going to touch it. We'll leave that. I'm happy with it. Our average, you know, we know that it looks good on that. LTC's done really well for me. In 9 days, it's made $50 on a small account. Just one pair, one direction. So it is stuck, but that's okay. My shorts have made up some ground. Look at this, $46. I made $100 just on LTC in 9 days. And that's just on the one pair. So my short's looking good. It's in good shape. Both of these are LTC. When I created the alert, you know, if you're super new at it, just always double check your stuff. You know, as long as you're not changing nothing, you can always look at this, right? But everything looks good. So I'm going to hit save, and I'm going to close my LTC. So let's take a look at good old XRP is our last one here that I'm running. So we'll load the layout. We're going to find XRP. All right. And then you're going to have your short and your long. And then we're just going to, like I said, guys, I'm doing so many pairs purposely because I want to show you guys that it's not too hard to set up these settings, right? Same things, and to update it, right? So this one, I'm actually using the strategy Parabolic SAR right here. You can see it's a different one. So I need to check that one. I actually been impressed with this one too. For those who wonder why we added this new strategy, it trades a little slower, so you're not going to see as big gains on backtesting, right? But the entries are better, and it seems to not get stuck as much, you know, which I kind of like. So, yeah. So let's take a look. You know, so we know where parabolics are on our short here. DCA looks like it's all still default. We don't have the stop loss in there, so we got 227. So let's just modify that date on our little notes here. And it's 1548 for this one. 1548. Okay, so we just have to recreate that. That's it. Everything else looks pretty default, and then make sure we choose parabolic for the short. So we'll go ahead and just take this one off. Let's just look at our long. Long XRP, we're still parabolic. Everything's default without the third DCA. And this is also 1547, not 1548, so 1 minute back. So we're just gonna take that one off. Click that, we'll load it back. I'll pull this off so I can load my indicator. And for those of you, if I'm going a little bit fast for you, the good news is everything we do is recorded. I'm just typing in my info here. Give me a moment. are back. All right, so let's deal with the first, just to simplify things. Let's make this say short, just so that way we know. So let's deal with the long. So we know we are on XRP. We know we're using Parabolic SAR. We know we're updated because it has the new version. We did not do DCA3, so let's uncheck that. We know that the time was 2023. The month was 2. The day was 27. This is 15, and this is 48. Close trade on chart. Let's press OK. And then let's just make sure we're in the correct long. All right, so we have a DCA1. We should have an entry of 0.37 or around there. And 0.37. We're in a long with one DCA. So we are in good shape. So our long looks good. So let's go ahead and mute that. Again, we're going to change this one to XRP, Parabolic. So you can see it's the same stuff, guys, over and over and over and over and over. You just have to do it enough to get used to it. And I mean, you can set these up so fast. I mean, you can see how I'm trying to purposely speed up. The first part I wanted to really explain it, but I wanted to kind of show you guys, like, once you get going on it, how quickly you can come in and set these up. So we took the DCA out, Parabolic, and we set our time. Let's hit OK. Let's unmute the short. So this one thinks that we're in a trade currently at 0.37, but it looks like pretty fresh, so we might have to refresh our screen because it doesn't show it here. So let's see if it actually opened that trade. Now, if you're playing with your alerts and let's say you delete it in between and it thinks it opened a trade, so like right here, that might have happened, right? Notice how we don't have a short here, okay? So let's take a look. That's why. Actually, see, we didn't give it time to update. So it did update to the Parabolic SARs, and it did close it here. So it's looking for a new short. So we're in good shape. So the Parabolic SARs, you'll notice more space between them, but I mean, look at this, no DCAs. I mean, it just gets such good entries. It's so cool. So check it out. I recommend Parabolic SARs for fast moving coins like XRP, Matic, Solana, ones that you're possibly afraid of, right? That you want to not have it be super duper aggressive. But we're in good shape here. Looks good. Let's go ahead and come over here. We have the XRP long, XRP short. We're ready to recreate our new ones. So let's go ahead and take out these here. And I'm going to create my XRP long. ATA XRP long. And takes a second to create that, and then it'll let me click it again. There we go. XRP, ATA XRP short. I had a lot to go through, so I haven't really been looking at the questions or comments, guys. Give me a minute. Once I'm done, going through this, we'll flip through and answer any questions we have. I definitely just did not want to go over an hour to respect you guys' time on Sunday here. So we'll go ahead and save that. So we're good. So let's just review. We have our alerts correct. Aave long, Aave short. Our dollars is existing. We do have our 2 ETHs. We have our LTC long, our LTC short, our XRP long, and our XRP short. I don't want to start anything new. I'm okay with not taking anything away because nothing's really deep, guys. Like, if something's starting to get super deep, then I might be, question it. But I'm okay with letting it work through. And we'll make a more further decision, tomorrow to let that go. I'm okay with running 4 of the, I think it's 4 we're running. Yeah, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. And then Doge, but Doge is going to get out and be done. But I'm okay doing that because if you look at the trading ATA, I'm running Ultron. Ultron's base minimum is $1,000. That's based on running 2 pairs, right? So if you look at my exchanges, if you're wondering why, like if you only have $1,000, you might not want to run 4, right? Unless you really know what you're doing. But if you look at it, I'm up to $1,900, right? Between what I've earned and the little bit I added for margin as I beef my account up, right? So I'm closer to double what that range is. So I can run more than 2. I can run 4. Sometimes it's good to have that smaller volume ATA and run more pairs than it is to go up too fast and run less pairs, because you want to go up, but you want to do it in a way that you still have some room, right? If you're always riding that minimum, then you're limited to how many pairs you can have out there working for you. So if that helps you kind of understand why I'm choosing to do 4. I'm staying around 4, depending middle of the week. Sometimes I'll beef it up. I'll go a little crazy if I think we're going to range, run 5 or 6. I may even start up BTC. You know what? Let's do that. I haven't really done it BTC with the live trader. Let's do that real fast. I'm gonna show you guys that real fast. We can do this quickly. Let's do a BTC. I normally do BTC on my live trader, but let's let it run and then I'll assess that tomorrow. So let me kill off my live traders here, and let's do this quickly. And then that way, for those of you who haven't seen how to set up a default setup, you can see how simple that is. So I'm just gonna add my Ultron trader. Put my info. And I'm gonna do it both ways. Even though we just had a fall in BTC, guys, we definitely could still go down further. I mean, it's not like we're bouncing on some support, but we're not anywhere near any kind of rock bottom, right? Now we get down into the 19-18K range. I might not want to be running my shorts too much, but we're okay with it right here. We're actually not too bad. If you look at the grand scheme of things, we're actually right in the middle. So, all right, so let's go ahead and save that. Now, I'm going to set this up real quick, right? Because I don't have any BTC trades open. Nothing's going, right? So to do the default, I'm just doing long BTC. Let's do the parabolic stars. Let's try that one. I'm going to keep these all default. I'm going to only allow 2 DCAs. I'm not going to do a stop loss because I'm going to hedge it. 2023, 3, let's see, 5. Then you're just doing the time, which is in the corner, 14, 50. Close trade on chart. Press OK. Let that do its thing. It's thinking. While that's thinking, I'm going to switch this one to short. I'll just start working on this one while that one's thinking. Parabolic SAR. I'm going to uncheck that one. 2023. I'm just doing this one purposely quick because of time, as well as I want to show you how quick this can get once you get used to setting it up. And we do close trade on chart because we're starting fresh, right? Okay, we just set up our long and our short that fast. Now we have our long close, we have our short close, right? Your 2 yellows. Once you get your yellows, you're good. You're good to go. We know we're on BTC. We got long, we got short. So let's create our alert. We know that the notification web alert is still the same, so we're fine. So I'm going to choose my long. I'm going to say ATA BTC long. And I'm going to choose my short. So I already got this all set up. So let's go into ATA BTC short. How fast was that? About a minute? Did we get that in a minute? Maybe 2? Oh, you guys keep me honest. We just set up a long and a short on a new pair in less than 2 minutes. And we're good. ATA BTC long, ATA BTC short. It's the same stuff that you're doing over and over, guys. Over and over and over. Yep, so now we're good. We're on the 1 minute. Let's just, because we did it so fast, let's confirm. 1 minute BTC. We got the gear. Everything looks good. Parabolic, right? We got the profits, all default. It's all default populated. That's why we purposely set those, because they're really good settings. All this default. I'm good. I'll close it. I'm done. Done. Now we got all these. Now we're running 6. Let's let that run through tonight. Let's see how that goes. So, let me take a look. That's the questions. I don't see too many here. Looks good. Yeah, guys, so, if you're in my room, you guys all know, we give out this guidance. We just had this recent update. Don't be afraid to update your charts. Literally, we've been on here 54 minutes. I updated 5 pairs and added 1 pair and went through a whole lot of teaching and settings, right? I mean, I can modify all of this and update all my stuff in less than probably 20 minutes. And now I'm done. I don't have to touch it the rest of the day. I'll just let it trade. Whatever. I'll just keep an eye on it and look at it when I want to, right? Go about my day. That's the purpose of the ATA is now it's just going to basically do its thing. You know, we're already set up here. We got our log, you know, we can check, and I don't have to touch it till the movement comes. So that's my Saturdays. You know, if you guys, like I said, you know, in the community, you know, just practice at it. I know a lot of the one-on-ones I've done with you guys, I've told you, you know, when you come in to load a chart, don't be afraid to, you know, take one of your charts like BTC, let's say, and click this little arrow, make a copy, right? So the settings are the same, and just call this like, I don't know, like ATA test chart, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't matter. It's going to show up ATA test chart. You can do whatever you want to do in this one. If you want to play with these take profits, these ranges, this is your layout that you will just use to test, right? You can test changing your pair. I mean, just get familiar with it. Whatever you do in here, as long as you do not create an alert for it, it doesn't matter, right? So you can hit this X. These are your live ones. So let's say you load up your chart, you're trading, you're like, you know, market's not doing nothing, I want to play with it. Load layout, right? Then we'll just type in test because we know that's what we named it. There's my layout, and here it is. I can go back to playing with it. Do whatever I want. And this is not going to mess up any of my alerts. What you don't want to do is you don't want to load here, go to your BTC, and then go, well, let me just play with it. Because you want this to match what your alert is actually doing, so you can check on it, so you can review it, right? Remember, 3 key factors. I'm going to leave you with it in the next couple minutes here. Yes, Felipe, just make sure it's on 1.16. If you're 1.16, you're good. You can just click the gear like this, and you'll see right here. So it depends when you did it, because we actually pushed it, I think 2 days, or yesterday morning maybe. But I didn't announce it yet because I was still modifying some stuff. But yeah, so you might be okay. But you know, you want to be able to not mess with this stuff, right? You want to be able to log into your BTC and say, oh, okay, I took a short, I took this. How is it performing? Is it getting stuck? You know, if I see it consistently having to DCA in my shorts or my longs, I may want to stop my shorts or my longs. If it's not DCAing a lot, right? If it's just, you know, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. I mean, why mess with it? I mean, look at this. What a great short. Look at this. Caught the short right at the top. Boom. Sold at the bottom. Phenomenal. Why would I want to touch that, right? Just let that go. But if I start to see a trend the wrong way, right, like this, like how the long would be, right? Now, I'm not stuck in this because I didn't really run it, but it would be stuck in that long from that fall, right? Phenomenal DCAs, move my entry really, really close. I mean, we're not that far, right? But I may want to reevaluate that. Now, I don't necessarily start or stop something just because of a quick fall like that. I'm concerned about, is it trending down and it's having to struggle? Like even this, you might have been able to see the early signs, right? Because we had a pump up. You had DCA, came down, DCA, came down, right? So you may have saw this and said, man, we're starting to really trend down. We're DCAing a lot. You know, maybe we don't want to run it. Or again, you know, the goal of this is to consistently keep your entries close. And so if I were to run this from back here, you can see my entry for my long would be here. My entry for my short would be here. I mean, it's doing its job. It's keeping those entries tight. So I hope that helps you guys out. 2 minutes left. I really did not want to go over the hour. If it's a lot, I get it. It is so simple, guys. You know, think about it this way in relations. People spend years learning how to trade, learning how to read markets, learning how to identify when to enter a trade, when to exit a trade. you will not have to spend years to learn how to use our technology. You can learn this in a weekend if you put in the time, right? If you have the time to sit there and go through the training courses. If you guys are not utilizing these training courses, you're really not, doing yourself any justice, right? So let me bring this up here. Make sure that you're going to these ATA courses, right? So it's going to look like this. You got your courses. Everything you need is in here. Setup and management, account creation. It's all here, guys. Every question I get is always 95% of the time it's in here. 3 important things to understand in trading view. You should be watching that. Understanding how to build your strategies, modify your take profit zones, DCA and how it works. Spot trader, we added that one to if you wanted to learn how to do the spot trader, it's there. Live trader, how to set it up, it's there. All these questions are there. And if it's not there, it's in the troubleshootings, right? Right here. My chart shows a buy, but nothing happened. My chart shows a buy, alert fired, but it's not on my exchange. All of your questions are probably answered in here. You should be, if you're not familiar with this and you can't do it as quickly as you're seeing me do it, you should be spending a lot of time in here. So, all the materials there, guys. You gotta you gotta apply yourself to do it. But, like I said, if I could go back in time, when we CK and I, when he taught me how to trade, and if you ask me, would I have rather spent, the days or weeks potentially it would take to learn and to master this technology versus the 6 months to a year that it took me to understand how to read a chart, to understand how to trade and all the lingo, I would take this technology freaking any day of the week, right? And this is why we created this for you guys, because we want to try to speed that process up for you so you guys can get to earning. You're not going to find this in any other room. Nobody else has this. It's all custom. You guys, those of you in the room, we build all this stuff. It's all coded 100% by us. Every indicator that we do, it's all BotJock right here. So, we want to make it simple for you guys. We know you're busy. We want to make it to where you guys can, we don't want to make it more complicated. We want to make it easy. You get in there, you set it up, you turn it off, you go about your day. Go to work. Just let it work. Let it make money for you. We have guys in our room, their accounts are up 20%, 30%, 15%. Heck, you guys see my account. I don't even know where my thing went. You guys have been following me. I started this account purposely to show you guys that it can be done on these smaller accounts. I started this account, I think, what was it, like maybe 10 days ago, if that, and it's up 13% in the trades, right? So, it can be done. We're gonna push this account up. I'm gonna keep this one going and show you how I get to the Goliath level. But it just takes time, guys. You guys just be patient with it, right? And just use some smart decisions, understand the technology, and you guys can do it. So, but if I went a little fast for you, please watch that video back. It's going to be, if you just click on the open community events and then click up on the top right where it says past, give it about 10 minutes or so. It should populate in there and then you'll be able to watch it back. So, yeah, Felipe, I just saw that question. Let me show you, because sometimes people miss this here. So when you go into always remember this, every training that we do is always recorded, right? So if you go to open, or not training courses, sorry, the events. So if you come up to the events, right, you're going to see right here, there's no upcoming ones on here, but you can click that past button right here and it's going to tell you it's right here, right? So the recording will all be right here. So once we're done, it'll post in there. So right now, like if I were to click on this morning huddle, see how it populates? There's the video right there. So it populates all right within your dashboard there. But yeah, I wish they made that button a little easier to find, but it's just clicking on the community events and then come up here and you have upcoming and you have past. Just click on past. And that's it, if that helps you out. Good deal. No, you're doing good, Felipe, man. I'm glad you got that up and working, and hope those training videos worked out well for you. It's Sunday, guys. We're 3 minutes past. I don't want to go too much more past. I appreciate you guys' time. I'm going to let my ATA work. I'm going to go probably walk my dogs and enjoy the rest of my day. Again, like I always, appreciate you guys' time. If you guys have any questions, please ask in the community. We'll talk to you guys later.